how come I'm still alive? I'm still alive.
Jake Larson was 21 years old when he stormed Omaha Beach with his Army unit. After 75 years, he returns for the first time. For Jake, the beach today looks dramatically different.
The sea here is clear. It was bloody bodies. What can a person say now, except that war is hell?
Jake then talks about the moment he decided to run for the cliff.
I stopped for a cigarette behind that berm, and my matches were wet. So I turned to my left, and not 3 feet from me, there was a soldier. And I said, "Buddy, have you got a match?" And he didn't answer. I looked again, and there was no head under the helmet. The soul of that boy inspired me to up at that instant and run for the cliff.
The motto of his unit was "To the Last Man," which he had pinned on his hat.
To the last man.
Jake is the last surviving member of his unit.
I am the last man, yes.
And when asked about what he'd like for people to know about the war, he said this.
Don't remember me. Remember all those guys that sacrificed their lives for freedom that we all enjoy today. And remember, freedom is not free.
Thank you, Jake, for your service.
Grandpa, were you a hero in the war? Grandpa said no. But I served in a company of heroes.
This was the saddest thing that happened to me, and I never forget it. What happened was that 3 of us were in a cave around the north end. We're sitting there. I got to get up there and take a look. So I got up there looking for snipers. I couldn't find a thing. I was there about 15 minutes. I got on the horn, my radio, and I said, "I've been looking. I can't see a thing." "Well, you better keep looking because our first sergeant took a round his leg from out there. By the way, you got a kid coming for a replacement." 10 minutes later, well, he stood at the horn. He said, "What do you want me to do?" I said, "Sit over there." I was going to go look. He said, "Hey, Graves, let me have the glasses, I'll look." And I said, "Nah, you get yourself shot." My buddy says, "Give him the glasses, that's what he's here for." I threw the glasses, he got up right where I had been. About 10 minutes after, he got shot in the forehead. His helmet flew off and landed down by my feet. I looked down in that helmet, and there was a beautiful girl, and on her lap was a beautiful baby. When I saw that, I just lost it. I got up, cursed Iwo Jima, I cursed the Marine Corps, and the worst thing I did is I cursed God because he let that kid take my place. I didn't understand.
Don't thank me, and don't say I'm a hero. I'm no hero. I was lucky. I'm here. All the heroes are dead, and I'll never forget them as long as I live. When I landed, it was hell. I never seen any like it in my life. You had the ships firing over your head, and you had the Germans firing you from inland. And 88mm guns they used, which would blow you off the face of the earth. A mate of mine died in my arms, and he was in a field in Caen. He had a 3-week-old baby, it's called Needs. And they took me to the 60th anniversary to find out where he buried. And they buried him in a little cemetery called Lardin-le-Rue. And I go up there and put a cross on his grave. All I know is Normandy veterans love one another beyond the love of women. If you was in a hole in the ground with a boat, you've got to know him. Marvellous men, my generation saved the world, and I never forget any of them.
They bitch about it, and then
my message is, I can see in my mind's eye those rows and rows of white stones of all the hundreds of my friends and everybody else that gave their lives for what? The country of today. No, I'm sorry. The sacrifice wasn't worth the result that it is now. And what we fought for was our freedom. We fight for it even now It's darn sight worse than what it was when I fought for it.